Let's take a look at Mel Kiper's 2021 NFL Draft Big Board here. His number one player, to the surprise of nobody, Kayvon Thibodeaux, the number one guy on his board. And I agree. Look, this past year's draft class didn't have that dominant edge rusher. I think Kayvon Thibodeaux is going to be that guy. Awesome pass rusher. I am excited to see him in a more normal Pac-12 season. Number 2, Derek Stingley Jr., who I want to make it very clear, was much better as a true freshman in 2019 than what he was in 2020. Picked off 6 passes that year. Now, his production dipped pretty significantly from year 1 to year 2, although I will make note, the entire LSU defense was more or less in shambles this past year, so I'm not going to get into too much there. I think defensively, these are the clear-cut top 2 players. Now, who is your favorite draft prospect this year? And I know it's early, but who's your favorite one? Get your votes in for me in the comment section. Your favorite draft prospect this season. The first offensive player is a quarterback here on Mel Kiper's big board, Spencer Rattler. He's number 3, the Oklahoma QB. Not that big, but he's made some awesome throws. The Oklahoma pipeline with Lincoln Riley has been pretty damn impressive. This quarterback class in general is a little bit tricky to figure out early, but I get Kiper having Rattler so high. I love the presence here of Evan Neal, number 4 on this list out of Alabama, the offensive tackle. Left guard in 2019, right tackle last year, now going to go play left tackle. He popped a lot watching Alabama film this past season. So I am excited to see Evan Neal at left tackle in 2021. Number 5, DeMarvin Leal out of Texas A&M. He kind of plays more of a defensive end role in the end for A&M, but I think 3-tech probably going to be, maybe 5-tech, going to be his main role in the NFL. I like him a lot. Another good player on the board here for Mel Kiper. Number 6, the first one that I go, maybe, Christian Harris, linebacker out of Alabama. He's a good player. Great in run support, can blitz a bit as well. He needs work in coverage. And I get concerned when I'm putting not great coverage guys in the top 7. So I think he does go in round 1. I'm just not sure if 6 is the right spot for him quite this early. Now, do you guys want more NFL draft videos, maybe like some positional rankings, for example? If you guys do, head down to the comment section right now and type in me. If you get the ad break, this is the perfect opportunity to go do it. A name I love here as well, Kenyon Green, the offensive lineman out of A&M. He was a guard last year. He's going to go play left tackle. I think both he and Evan Neal, position change guys in the end, are great picks in the top 10 here by Kiper. One of my favorite guys this year, simply put, is Kyle Hamilton. Rare size and speed for a safety, listed at 6'4", 219, and can move. Picked off 4 passes, by the way, as a freshman, just 1 this past season. I don't know if he's the next great safety necessarily, but I do think you're looking at a round 1 guy. Number 9, back-to-back DBs here, Kaiir Elam out of Florida. Yes, he is related to Matt Elam, the former Florida safety. Kaiir is the nephew of Matt Elam. Again, pretty decent size there, good ball skills too. The number 1 corner is by no means set in stone, but I think Elam is the early favorite as we sit. All right, number 10, the first guy not in my way too early 2022 mock draft. That's Jackson Kirkland. First off, great name. First senior on these rankings, by the way, with Mel Kiper. Right guard the previous 2 years, left tackle, but only 4 games last year, so has kind of slid under the radar because he only got to play in 4 games this past year because, Pac-12 was weird because COVID and everything there. But I don't mind it. No sacks. A lot of he does that again this year. Yeah, he probably goes in round 1. Happy to see Garrett Wilson this high up on Kiper's big board, folks. Number 11 on the board, and I completely agree. I think that this is one of the best receivers, if not the outright best receiver in this year's draft class. He is awesome, immensely talented, lined up some inside and some outside. I think he's going to have a huge year if the quarterback plays in a disaster this season for Ohio State. The Buckeyes, spoiler alert, will have 2 receivers on this list. Garrett Wilson, of course, and Chris Olave. So get your votes in. Which one do you prefer the most? Type GW for Garrett Wilson or type in CO for Chris Olave. Get your votes in right now. Number 12, Sam Howell from North Carolina. By the way, under the radar, some good offensive linemen for UNC. Don't be surprised if they end up making the nod at some point as a potential round 1 guys. Howell, however, losing his top 2 receivers and his top 2 backs. If he plays great again, despite not having an elite arm, I do think this would be a potential round 1 guy. Number 13, Charles Cross, who is the Mississippi State offensive lineman here, who I like quite a bit, as I mentioned, out of Ole Miss, or out of Mississippi State, excuse me, my bad. Third-year sophomore. The first year I thought this past year was a bit up and down, but he gets a lot of pressure opportunities in that Mike Leach offense. I think in general that entire team was not quite clicking on all cylinders quite yet, but I think upside-wise, I get why Kiper's got him so, but he's not there yet. Same with some guys we'll get to here in just a second. But first, NFL fans, which of course you all are, jerseys under $80. Go get yours today at chatsports.com/jersey deal. One more time, folks, chatsports.com/jersey deal. Tua, Jerry Jeudy, some previous year's rookies, Aaron Donald, the new Rams ones, they're all there. So go check out the comment section and the description. We'll put that link in there for you guys. So all you have to do is click shop and buy yourself a much-needed brand new NFL jersey. Come on. You got that stimmy money lying around still. I know you guys. Spend it on an NFL jersey. Number 14, George Karlaftis, who, again, much like some other players on this list, did not get to play much last year, but flashed in a handful of games and was also really good in his freshman year, 2019. As a more of your typical 4-3 defensive end, that hand in the dirt guy, I think you got a potential round 1 pick here. Very happy to see Malik Willis make this list, the quarterback out of Liberty, who talent-wise is so intriguing. And if we're being honest here, the Auburn decision to start Bo Nix over Malik Willis probably cost Gus Malzahn his job in the end for the Tigers. Now, he's not there yet, but athletic ability-wise, arm strength-wise, the traits are all there. He is going to continue to get round 1 buzz as the year goes on. Now, quick note, got games against Syracuse and Ole Miss. If he impresses against Power 5 competition, that's going to help out his draft stock significantly. As I mentioned, a very weird quarterback draft class in 2022. There's Willis and Rattler and Howell, but also guys like Eden Slovis and JT Daniels and Grayson McCall and so many other quarterbacks who could maybe go in round 1. The depth for this year's class is pretty intriguing, much better than this past year's. So which quarterback prospect is your favorite one in the 2022 NFL Draft? Get your votes in right now. Drake Jackson, a guy I'm a big fan of. It's mostly upside. The game in production is not quite there yet, but the traits certainly are. So I am very intrigued by Drake Jackson. Maybe more of a top 25 guy for me right now, but I like him making the top 20. All right, Treylon Burks, who I also put in my way too early round 1 NFL mock draft out of Arkansas. Big receiver, 6'3", 232. And by the way, he played a lot of slot for Arkansas. Not common for a guy that size. I think that size and profile makes him a potential round 1 pick. To South Carolina we go now. Kingsley Enagbare, the edge rusher from South Carolina. Great size, 6 sacks in just 8 games this year. Again, bit of an under-the-radar player. If he can show some more polish, he could go in round 1. Now, previously, much had been made about Darion Kendrick, the other Clemson cornerback who, bit of an issue there, got kicked out of Clemson and is now looking for his new team. But Andrew Booth, also played pretty well, and there is at least an argument to be made that Booth outplayed Kendrick in 2020. Booth is now the clear number one corner from Clemson. Their track record of late has been pretty solid. We saw A.J. Terrell go in round one. I wonder if Andrew Booth could be the next pick early in round one out of Clemson, who was a cornerback. So he's definitely worth watching. We will see exactly just how good he looks, as he is the obvious number one corner entering this year for Clemson. Now, if you guys want more NFL videos, both draft and non-draft ones, hit that big red button and subscribe. Link right there, bottom of your screen. But all you have to do, if you're watching on YouTube right now, hit that big red button. All right, number 20 of the 25 on this list here for Mel Kiper, Isaiah Spiller out of Texas A&M. Again, running backs are being devalued in today's NFL, but Spiller is awesome. I am highly, highly impressed by what Isaiah Spiller brings in the ground game. And if he can offer more pass-catching value, which is not great right now, he will be a first-round pick. Number 21, oh, look, another Alabama receiver, John Mechie III. I don't think he's as good as Jerry Jeudy or Ruggs or Waddle or whoever. I think it's a bit high for him, but you know what? He gets to be the guy this year. So if he impresses, then yes, he will probably end up going in round one. Number 22, Zach Harrison, the edge rusher out of Ohio State. 6'6", 265, so room to add some more mass there. He and Tyreek Smith, the production hasn't quite been there yet, but both of those guys are really talented. And with some other edges gone like Jonathan Cooper, I would keep an eye out for both OSU's having a big-time breakout year. To NC State now we go. Ikem Ekwonu, the offensive lineman out of NC State. Now he's played tackle and guard. Left tackle is the plan this year. Kiper put him at guard on his big board, and I am inclined to agree. I'll say this, though. I'm really surprised he's on here. He's a really good run blocker, great in that area, but even Kiper himself mentioned he allowed 8 sacks last year. That is way too many for an offensive lineman to get top 25 buzz. So if he gets better in pass protection, okay, this is worth it. But that's a little bit early for him. I like this next guy, though, Ahmad Gardner out of Cincinnati. Now, broke up about 30.6% of his passes, very high levels right there. He gets to take on Notre Dame this year. 6 interceptions in his 2 years at UC. If he can impress against Notre Dame, against the best level of competition he's going to face this season, I think round one makes a lot of sense. And finally, the name that we mentioned earlier, Chris Olave. I do wonder in the end how insert quarterback here, who's not Justin Fields for Ohio State, will impact the stocks of Olave and Wilson. That's why I thought Jamar Chase was wise to opt out last year without Joe Burrow. I am curious how the quarterback play impacts Olave and Wilson, but in a pretty promising receiver class, again, get used to that's going to be the norm going forward, folks. I like putting both Olave and Wilson inside that top 25. So now it is your chance to be a hater, because I'm sure there's somebody that Kiper left off that you're upset about. So let me know. Who did Mel Kiper leave off his big board that should definitely be inside the way too early top 25?